Hey, Ashley in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and I'm going to show you how I cut a long-awaited transition lenses with Crizal Alizé for your RayBan 5154 color 2000 in the 51 eye size. Let's go and take everything out of the original packaging, and of course your RayBan case, your RayBan cleaning cloth, but the star of the show, the RayBan 5154 Clubmaster, the vintage look, and of course it comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from while it was being shipped overseas. And I'm going to put the same thing on there when I ship to you. Of course, original demo lenses, one of which says RayBan on there. I'm going to pop these out, and I'm going to put your frame into the tracing element of my edger and hit trace. Uno, dos, trace. So this little stylus is going to pop up and it's going to go around and trace the shape of the right lens before moving over and tracing the shape of the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipts have my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether you need prescription lenses or not. However, Ashley, you know you need prescription lenses, so that's what I'm going to cut for you tonight. And I also want to mention thank you so much for your patience. It took a couple weeks for this to come in from RayBan's warehouses overseas. I cannot apologize enough for the delay, which rarely happens. So I'm going to type in your pupillary distance, which is 31 in each eye. It starts out at 32.5. I'm going to hit this little minus button. It's going to go down 0.5 millimeters to 31. I'm going to go ahead and get your lenses prepped. You're going to have some preppy lenses when I'm done. So I'm down here to my Marco 101 lensometer. I'm going to spin the axis wheel to 55. Your right eye is -1 at 55. -1, -1. Let's go ahead and label this one your right eye. Let's do that, because you're actually same powers on both eyes, but I'm going to take your lens out of the protective sleeves. It actually has a little protective laminate on the front of the lens, so nothing rubs against the lens while it's being shipped. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to set that there because I'm going to put it on there when I ship to you. So again, -1, -1 at 55. Let me just zero this out and make sure everything's dialed in perfectly. -1 at 55. Put your right lens in, turn and shake it all about. No, wait, that's a whole nother video. But I'm going to find the spherical center of your lens, the optical center. Check your astigmatism correction. Then I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses, and I shouldn't have touched that because now I'm going to make my thumb red. All right, let's clean that off. And it may not work anyway, but I put 3 dots on your lenses. I'm going to darken that so you can follow at home. 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to mark this one R for right. Let's do the same thing for your left lens. -1, -1 at 005. -1, -1. The left lens, and of course you're going to receive these individual packets so you know that you're getting the authentic lenses. Take the lens out of the sleeve, and it will be in my handwriting with that yellow highlighter. Oops, hey, that's why I can't have nice yellow highlighters. Take off the little protective laminate, and of course I'm going to put those on your lenses when I ship to you. Even though it's inside the case, you are getting all the manufacturer's original packaging, including the demo lenses, one of which it says RayBan, because that's how I rolls. Now I was on -1. Yep, let's start there. Find the optical center of your lens, the spherical component. That looks good. I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses and stop my finger from getting red this time. I'm going to put that on there, and now I'm going to have that cap get on there. 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to put an L, which stands for not right, just like me. Now if you missed any of this, let me recap. I know that's bad. I know it's bad, but you're going to be telling that joke tomorrow. I know you will. Email me when you do it. Hopefully you'll get a better response than I did. Okay, so let's see. That's your right lens. I'm going to put that on the platform. This is a block, as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. You know you can reel when they make this sound. Okay, The little button on the back, that silver button, is a magnet. Try not to look at my dirty thumbnail. I changed out tint in the tint tank last night. In the black, and while I was scrubbing it, my thumbnail got dirty from the tint, and when you know it, it's hard to clean that out. Looks like I've been gardening with that thumb. But anyway, I digress. That little silver button is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice, but first I need to take 2 double-sided adhesive stickers. The black side is the sticky side. The red side ain't. So, let me stick that onto the block. That's 1. Put that on this side. That's dose. And pull the paperweight to make the black side sticky. Marry that magnet to the one that's inside this arm. Get the lenses in there. And the reason why I put those 3 dots on there, it tells me if everything is oriented perfectly. That blue cross is the geometric center of their frame. If you were to measure vertically and horizontally and diagonally and every other way in between, the the obtuse meridians, how's that? You would end up with the geometric center. Your eye is just inset from there. So I'm going to put that dot in the center, and those 2 dots tell me that everything is lined up perfectly, as they say somewhere in the world, just not around here. Hit that button. The block is going to be applied to your right lens. Let's now do the same thing for your unright lens. It flips over and mirrors your PD from the right side, so that happens to be 31. You are matching. The dots are a little bit darker, so you can see, hopefully you can see those 3 dots. That tells me if it's oriented in there perfectly, that I have everything nice and straight, so you see your crispus. Is that a real word? Crisp like lettuce. Okay, I say that because I had some lettuce wraps for lunch today, trying to be healthier. I can't imagine who wants me to be healthier. But yeah, someone wants me to, so I had some lettuce wraps for lunch. But don't you worry, I still have my whole accessories, my accoutrements of hot sauce here for all my different Tabascos, my Chipotles, for when I have Asian food. And because it ain't made in New York City, but in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, North Kakalaki. And Ashley is my neighbor to the north. I am in Virginia, I am in North Carolina, in Durham, the dirty D as we call it. And my thumb is putting the dirty into the dirty D. And pull the paperweight and make the black side sticky. Put that on there. That's lined up perfectly. Hit the button, and now the block is applied to the left lens. Did I say left? I meant the unright lens. So, this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy their own, so I can come over to their house and cut lenses. But no, put it on your kitchen counter, and then you can cut your own lenses at home. You won't need me anymore. So the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. This wheel in the center with that channel, that valley, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens, so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. Now this magnet is going to do its job a second time. It's going to hold it in place in the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. I'm going to wake up. You know, I spent all that money. I don't want to use my finger. I'm going to use my stylus to do the work. You know, I could have... That's the Apple stylus. This is the Samsung stylus. So that is the shape of your lens. I do not want to polish the edges. I do not want to put a safety bevel on the front surface, the convex surface of the lens. I only want to put a bevel onto the concave rear surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. I'm going to hit that green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts while making a wounded seal sound, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that the lens is large enough to go into the frame, and that it's also going to measure the thickness of the lens at every point. Now in just a moment, the lens is going to drop down onto the cutting wheel, and you're going to hear a grinding sound. That first grinding sound you hear would be my teeth grinding together because I've had too much coffee today. The second sound you hear will be the grinding of the lens. Now you do see water flickering in the background. That is if you open your eyes and you're not sleeping at this point from boredom. But water is running only to collect the optical sawdust, where plastic and high index plastic cut wet, polycarbonate cuts dry. And as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. These are Essilor brand lenses that you'll be receiving the packets. They call their polycarbonate airwear because they're light as air. The TR is Transitions, Roman numeral 7, GY for gray. And of course, it says it here, Transition Signature 7 gray lenses with Crizal Alizé. Now, polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. Your lenses are virtually unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied when you're in direct exposure to the sun, say like at Virginia Beach. But this is permanent, never needs to be reapplied. Now, you also have an anti-glare coating. Anti-glare is 3 features in 1. It eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights. You like my pergola? You like that? Makes me feel like I'm at home. But it's also an anti-reflection lens. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses. They see just your eyes, so it makes for much better eye contact. Plus, if you take a selfie or if someone else takes a picture with a flash, you won't see the flash lit up in the lens, you'll see just your eyes. The third feature that I like, which is the practical side, is it comes with the industry's best scratch coating, because it takes over 24 hours to apply that coating to your lens. And it's actually vaporized 7 different layers onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense of doing that, they're going to give you the industry's best scratch coating. Now, that little arm that came out with the little spinning wheel on the end looks like something you'd find on a Dremel tool. That's what's applying the safety bevel to the rear surface of the lens. Now, Ashley, again, I can't thank you enough for your patience. I also want to give a shout out to Ashley Mom's Christy, for whom none of this would be possible, quite literally. So thank you, Christy. Ashley's mom. Yay, moms, you gotta love them. Now, see, I just opened that door with my mind. I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can do it. It just takes a couple hours and I have to stare at it for a couple hours very intently, but I can melt ice. So, I'm just gonna do a quick scraping of your lens with my thumb to wash away any, not wash away, to scrape away any optical debris like that. Maybe you can see that. Oh, it fell on the, I was gonna drop it on the floor. There it is. Now I'll drop it on the floor. Now, if you notice in most of my videos, I don't use a tray, but I'm going to do it this time because I'm going to take my little tiny Phillips screwdriver and do a little lefty-loosey. I do not want to take that screw out all the way. If it falls out and bounces on the floor, Ashley, you're going to have to come over and look for it. I ain't bending over. So I'm loosening it just enough to pop your right lens in. I'm going to tighten everything back down, and let's go ahead and start cutting the left lens. I'm going to grab the left lens, hit the L for not right, and oops, got to put the lens in there before I hit start. Now, I learned how to do this. It does take hard work and education. Most young people today just don't care about hard work and education. But for me, for example, I went to Columbia and I worked for a drug cartel until I could save up money to go to college. And once I was in college, I had a 3.2, what's it called? It's not a grade point average. Blood alcohol content. I had a 3.2 blood alcohol content. Now, I did major in optics. I had a minor. Her name was Debbie, but her parents took out a restraining order against me and I couldn't see her anymore. Now, as soon as that left lens touches down on the cutting wheel, I'm going to go ahead and inspect your right lens. And of course, as I mentioned before, it measures twice to make sure there is no edge thickness whatsoever. It knows exactly where to place the bevel, so you have the best cosmetic fit possible. And let's go ahead and take this block off. I've got a smaller flashlight, I just can't find it. I gotta keep looking for it. So, take that block off, take that sticker off. Let's go back down here. I'm gonna grab my flashlight. Let's go back down here to my dusty Marco 101 lensometer. I'm gonna put it in right above that red dot and read the prescription. I need to spin the axis wheel back to 55. And I'm going to read the power. What do you know? -1. How does that happen? So the unit of measurement we use in the optical field is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, starting at 1/4, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1. So you need 4 steps of correction for your farsightedness. You are nearsighted. Without your glasses on, you can see great up close, up near. You just can't see far away. So Everything is much larger until you put your glasses on. Your lens is minified down to the correct size by 4 steps. Now you need an additional 4 steps of astigmatism correction. Now, I know, forgive me for repeating myself, but there is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. Actually, in your case, it is a disease and affliction. I'd go and see a specialist about that. Try thinking about getting shots in your eyes until that clears things up. But remember high school algebra where you have to add like signs together? Yeah, I don't remember that either, but let's use today's terms. If someone had borrowed $1, then they borrowed another $1 from you, you would have 2 diopters of astigmatism, total power. And what do you know? We're getting 2 diopters, 2 in the red, 2 in the minus. So, astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. Think of it as the fine-tuned knob. We're going to turn that knob to 55, with the straight line being from 0 to 180. Let me move the camera. Hopefully I don't miss any of this. From 0 to 180, with 90 being in the center. 0 here, 90, 180, 270. 270 down here. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's in the 270 zone. I don't like going there very much. So, we have 0 there. We're going to turn it just past the 45th meridian to about 55. Now you have the same power as your right eye, -1 at 0.5, but we're only going to turn that knob just enough to break that 180 meridian to about 5 right there. So astigmatism is the fine-tuned knob to make everything nice and crisp. This first number makes everything the correct size. The second number takes away the fuzzy edges. The soft, cuddly, fuzzy edges. Just like a teddy bear, just like a sock monkey, just like a lamb, just like a little baby lamb. Okay, it's fun to entertain myself. So, ooh, look. Okay, so you have some optical sawdust, which is called Schwarf. I'm going to peel that off. I love it when it comes off in one big piece. It's like when you clean the lint trap in your dryer and it comes off in one piece. So I'm going to collect it very neatly and nicely into one pile, and then I'll wipe it on the floor. Because the clown gets to have fun at work too, you know. Okay. So, lefty loosey with my little Phillips head. Me no likey the flat blade. Me likey the Phillips. Quit looking at my dirty thumb. I'm fixated on it. Okay, so. Did I tell you how I got that thumb dirty? Alright, well, if I didn't, use your imagination. You mean you're actually paying for this? Okay, so. Let me tighten that screw down. Righty-tighty. In my whitey-tighties. I'm just kidding, Ashley. I'm not wearing any underwear. Is your mom watching this? I shouldn't be talking about things like this. Okay, so, and she doesn't approve of it either, you know, but hey, she married me. That's her own fault. All right, so turn the axis wheel back to 5. Put this in there. Check the power. -1. It's a miracle. Let's check your astigmatism correction, of which you have another 1 diopter. 1 and 1 makes 2, but 3 is the magic number. At least according to De La Soul. So again, let's see, that's made right. Now your pupillary distance, 31 in your right eye, 31 in your left eye, 31 in your middle eye for a combined value of 93. Wait, you only have 2 eyes, so 31 and 31 is 62. Let's turn the card over. I will take the PD stick out of my pocket, place the 0 against my thumb on your right lens, and when we measure on the left lens, we're getting 62 millimeters. So that is made perfectly. That's twice tonight I've said that. Of course, here's the point in every video that as I'm cleaning your lenses, that I do free shipping anywhere in the US, but when you get these in the mail, Ashley, there's a very small chance that these could fit either too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to fit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I'm no different, and I'll show you in just a moment. But for now, I'm going to get these, and because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance, 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. Now again, just stop by your local place because it only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust a pair of glasses properly. But I'm going to set these down on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I am part of that 80%. I have one ear that is higher than the other. Or wait, do I have one ear that's lower than the other? I can never remember. I didn't know there was going to be so much math involved. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over. Press down, no wobble, except here's the wobble. Hey, we're wobbling now. Or is that a wiggle? I can never tell. Or is that a shimmy? Okay, so I'm going to close each temple to make sure they overlap correctly, and they're not askew. You have to pay extra for them to be crooked like that when I ship them to you. Check the tension on each spring hinge. That's good. And this is what your lenses look like clear. I don't know why I pulled a long R on there. I put a long tail on that kite. But okay, I'm going to go ahead and activate the transition portion of your lenses in my little transitions box here in the corner. I had to put it in timeout in the corner because it was acting badly. So, hit the little button, and as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside. 45 seconds to a minute 15 to return back to clear. Now, Ashley, pay attention. This is important. All transition lenses will get dark on day one. Give them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun, and they're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks till they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they won't work is when you get behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield has UV inhibitors in there to prevent your dashboard from cracking from sitting in the sun all day. So that's why they don't turn dark in a car. They will turn dark in a convertible or a motorcycle. So now your mom, Christy, can go out and get you that motorcycle she's always wanted you to have. Now, they're also temperature sensitive. I'm telling everyone that in the middle of summer. They will get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. When it's triple digits outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody likes to work 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. So don't worry, Ashley, they will get darker than this. Come on, we talked about this, Ashley, don't you remember? But that's that. If anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Ashley in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Again, I cannot thank you enough for your patience while your RayBan 5154 color 2000 in the 51 eye size with a 21 bridge and a 145 temple length for those of you keeping score at home. And if you really want to get technical, the 145 starts at the center of the screw head, and that's 145 millimeters to the end of the temple tip for those of you. And of course, the very unique RayBan bayonet style or the crimp style of nose pads that come on here. And of course, it does say RayBan on the nose pads. But hopefully everyone else, again, Ashley, I can't thank you enough for your patience. And you could have bought your glasses from anywhere else, but no, you bought them from the guy who's going to give you free prescription lenses. Well played, madame. Of course, this frame sells for $180. The transition lenses add $50, and the Crizal anti-glare adds another $40. You do the math. Wait, I can do it here. $270. That's the total price. Of course, buying the frame, you will get free prescription lenses. But hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.